So anyways, it's time to talk about a show that I just can't seem to get into and that everybody loves to talk about. So, I gotta ask this question. Why do so many people like Invader Zim? Wow, that was weird. I expected something weird to... Now, it does bother me to no end when every discussion board and every conversation with a friend will argue that this was the best show they've seen on Nickelodeon. Well, I am gonna admit this, that a lot of the fans of the show will admit as well, and that's the animation is spot on. Part of it comes from my love for the man who launched 1,000 lousy fan arts, Yonan Vasquez. A lot of it also has to do with the expressive poses in the limited animation that put Vasquez's art direction to some really nice set pieces. Altogether, it's exactly what you imagined if you wanted an adaptation of his work like Squee or I Feel Sick. But for me personally, it has to do with balance. A show can have great aesthetics, but the story can be crap. So let's talk about the story to Invader Zim. The show is essentially an alien invasion. Zim is the weak link of a powerful alien empire under the impression that he's going to conquer Earth, when really they just want him to get the hell out. So off to his spaceship and his... We'll get to that later. And on Earth he disguises himself as a kid in school, spelt with a K for cool. The only kid who knows he's an alien is also the school dork, spending his time trying to expose him and keeping him from, you guessed it, taking over the world. Insert overused meme here. Each episode's a trade-off between Zim sometimes getting ahead, or Dib keeping him from succeeding. No real sense of threat ever exists, since it's the same cartoony settings like shows of SpongeBob and, for the sake of the comedians, Fanboy and Chum Chum. The characters scream a lot, they fail, cut to credits. Everything about Zim screams plankton. From green skin, getting picked on for being short, inventing stuff that backfires, and never shutting up about vengeance.
So enjoy today, Mr. Krabs, because by tomorrow I'll have the formula.
Now again, I can accept cartoony humor as long as there's a voice of reason. 90% of characters in the show are so dim-witted it makes dim-witted people look like Harvard graduate in comparison. I think the closest we get to a clever character is Dib, who's often labeled as the dork who knows little, even when the evidence is made clearly obvious. And that's where half the humor comes from. The other half involves non-sequitur humor, which is only funny because people are screaming stuff that catches you off guard.
I don't like it! Dookie! Wormy! I like Dookie! Pointy hair! I will make you suffer large, alien! It's blue!
Spoon!
Now there were episodes where the credits show that this was written. Okay, a boy turning into baloney isn't something you write on paper guide.
The dogs! After my juicy meat body of bologna meat!
There's more writing to an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode. And at the center of all that stupid, we get the character that sells more t-shirts than black eyeliner at Hot Topic. And just recently, Justin Bieber merchandise. Something's wrong here. Anyways, this is Gur. Zim's busted robot and pretty much everybody's favorite character. And I have no clue why.
Oh, you look so cute!
From a marketing standpoint, I can understand that any kid bored in class can doodle this, thus making it easily recognizable. I could do it for you in an easy 4 steps right here. Boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom, next. Where's my 100 million? For me personally, I just don't find why this show is so great. Again, the animation's nice, but when it comes to good animation on Nickelodeon, that's kind of an understatement. There are a lot of great shows to choose from that are well animated, like Cat, Dog, and Angry Beavers that no one really talks about, so what makes this any different? With Invader Zim, you can take away the animation and get another average Nicktoon. If there's something that fans can argue that I can empathize with, and that's the show being cancelled a little too short into its 2nd season. Now I can accept that the show gets its 2 seasons, but to cut halfway through and finish showing the episodes 4 years later? Yeah, they stopped airing the show in 2002 and resumed in 2006. Even for any show, that's kind of awkward. Reason being that the ratings weren't doing so hot. While it's known that Nicktoons aim high and try to appeal to everybody, another little show you might have heard of appeared at the same time, which scored better. If I could recall right, the Fairly OddParents are still doing pretty well as of now. Well, that depends on whether you think a live-action movie made for TV with Drake Bell equates to doing well. Occasionally, there's the Easter egg that alludes to Vasquez's previous work. Heck, I can even have some Roman Dirge comics lying around my house. You know what this is like. It's like when I watched the new My Little Pony show or the Spectacular Spider-Man. It has a killer resume, and yet I could care less. In the end, the annoying voice acting and brain-dead characters keep me from really getting invested into this show. which quite frankly makes me confused why people would care as well. You see, that wasn't too difficult. If all of us could just set aside our differences and accept that we like things that other people don't, then that's half the battle for all of us. Though seriously, if you like the Cat in the Hat, there's something wrong with you. Just pulling that out there. I'm Joey.T.Cartoon.P, and somehow that made me feel a little better. And thanks for watching this double feature extravaganza.
Gloria.